What is up, YouTube, and welcome to my first Harescramble race. Are you guys ready? Yeah, neither was I. So, anyways, I decided to do a race and start racing with my new bike, and I only had about an hour of seat time, so I had a feeling this wasn't going to go so well. So I've never been to this place for riding. It's called Fox Valley Offroad in Wedron, Illinois, and I actually liked it a lot. It's an ATV park also, so you can go there and just ride without racing. And the people there are really good, and all the results are posted online after the race. So it's a dead start race like most Harescrambles, and looks like she had some trouble right there, but it was a pretty smooth, I guess, start for me. I was definitely not trying to get the whole shot, and nor could I have. But my goal was just not to wipe out on the first turn in front of everyone. So, goal accomplished right there. I'm not riding really aggressive at all. I don't know where I'm going, and I decided that it'd be better not to wipe out on my first race. So, we just come down these little windy trails, kind of what I expected. Right off the bat, they hit you with some pretty big hills, and that's where the bottlenecks started. So, come down these hills. And this is my first time on a two-stroke in a while, so I'm not quite used to the whole not engine braking thing. So that was a little bit of a rude awakening, but I did all right. I didn't have any problems going down hills. I'm going to try to show you guys most of the first lap, just so you guys can see what the track is like. It's definitely not the most aggressive lap I rode that race, so it might not be the most entertaining. Let me know in the comments if you like this, or if you want me just to show you like the most aggressive lap I did, or whatever. Or if you guys really don't care what the track is, then I'll just show like the most interesting clips, I guess. This is more of a highlights video anyways. I don't just show you an hour and a half of racing, and I try to keep it a little bit more entertaining with the commentary. So this is what stopped me. See, I'm used to going up hills, just not with other people on them, or other people stopped on them. The guy next to me, he was actually thinking unlike me. He got stuck, but he turned sideways like that, so he wasn't trying to go up the hill. And with me only having an hour of ride time on this bike and coming off of a TTR, the low end torque was just not there for me. So I really struggled this first hill to get up without stalling. I thought the bike was stuck in second gear, but it wasn't. Thanks to the nice people that helped me, I actually got on my way after about, I think it was 10 minutes of me standing around. So it was a while. I lost a lot of time on this. So I finally start to get going, and then that guy's right there, and I should have just gone, looking in hindsight, but I don't always make the best decision at the time. So now it's been a while. I did a little cutscene type deal, and I finally get going. So basically now I'm just being really, really cautious, and I could have gone faster and pushed it harder. I just didn't know what lay ahead, and I didn't want to get hurt. So yeah, this is pretty boring, to be honest, but it picks up after the first lap, basically. The track was somewhat muddy this day. It wasn't really muddy to my standards, but the people who normally ride there, they said it was pretty muddy. So I'm used to riding in Michigan, where there's mostly mud and low speeds, but this was not that. So there's another hill. There's me not keeping the RPMs up, so the bike's completely shut off right now. I did a lot of bump starting like that just to start. Wasn't used to having to keep the bike running, because the TTR, you just put it in first gear and you can ascend basically any hill. The bike felt great though. It was way more maneuverable than the TTR. It's about 100 pounds less too, and way more power. I love the bike, but I stalled so much just because I wasn't used to a two-stroke, and I also got lost a lot. That was my other big thing for my first race, was just constantly getting lost. in other races, I haven't had this problem. It's just, I think it was just my first race. I was so concentrated on not falling over that I missed a lot of signs and stuff. I'm getting a little bit more comfortable on the bike, and I'm also riding in work boots. I finally got a pair of the Tech 5s, but this was before that. So, this is the muddiest portion of the race, really. They're just not bad at all. That's just me checking for trail signs and stuff. Nothing too crazy. There's already some caution tape torn down there. Yeah, you know you're not doing so well when you're the only one, when it feels like you're the only one on the track. But I wasn't riding that aggressively or competitively, really. The track really wasn't that tight with the whole single track deal. It wasn't very tight. I think it's because it's an ATV park, but it was this is pretty wide open actually, so it's a higher speed course, I guess. Here we're coming up to a little creek crossing, and then my next mistake. So there's a guy stuck right there, so I decided I'd go up and try to go up here. And this little divot right here, that got me stuck for a while too, so now I'm back moving again. And pretty soon I should be coming out onto the motocross track portion. There's a little preview of the motocross track. It's nothing crazy. I really did like it though. It was an easier track to get used to the bike on a little bit. So I come down here. It's a little bit of a sharp turn. Come up on this berm, and then there's a tabletop, I believe. And I didn't clear it, but I tried to at least get some there. And this is a really fast portion of the track. And then there's another jump right there. Again, this is my first time on this track, so I wasn't really pushing it, nor do I really the whole race. So motocross track is overall pretty easy. It's not a crazy like supercross track where you have to clear triples and all that stuff. So that was good in my case. Overall, this video is going to be about 20 minutes. And I mean, it was an hour and a half long race, so I chopped it down pretty good. Let me know if you guys want to see like more or less, or what you guys want to see. I'm using Audacity to record this, and Sony Vegas Pro for the editing. Right here we're coming through a little tight section. More trees, more little goat trails on this side of this huge hill. This is like the second half of the track. It must be on the other side of the park because the terrain's a little bit different. I think it's just higher ground, and the other area is closer to the river. It's not very muddy up here. It's really actually pretty dry. There were some ruts, but it wasn't bad. And overall, the trails are pretty wide right here. This is the easy place to get lost, at least for me. Now you get to see the little scoring area, and then you go back in. The scoring area had 2 logs, well, I guess 3. 1 log by itself, and then 2 that were joined together. And then you come through the little windy area, and you go through the finish line, which is like a scanner, and then you have this thing on the top of your helmet, and it scans it, which is not the usual for a Harescramble, but it's nice. Now I got turned around right there because I just came out on the track I came in, so I was a little bit confused. I just didn't want to run into oncoming traffic, so now I guess I'm just trying to find the area back on the trail where I came from. I should have known because there was no ruts, but I guess I wasn't focused on that. Now we're sliding under some caution tape, just a cutscene back. Now I finally found the finish line. Come up here, go over that one. Over that one. These were decently sized logs, and I thought they were going to be a little bit of a struggle, but they were pretty easy the first lap. So here's the scanner thing, and that scans the top of my helmet, and there's my lap. So now we come through this. This is probably the tightest part of the track, and I have no clue why I was going this fast my first lap, but I think it was because someone was behind me. But right there is a really, really tall, like, cliff almost. You come through this little tiny tight section, and come right out here. More of a clearing. I'm letting others pass because I don't want to slow anyone else down, and I realize this is my first race, so it really doesn't matter. More of a practice race if you think of it that way. So here I have to duck under this tree. It's a scary part about wearing a GoPro. Coming down another hill, another creek crossing, I believe. The creek really is basically empty though. Come over here and go up this hill. KTM does fine up hills as long as you're in higher RPMs, but right there I got driven off course by that tree that I ran into, and then here comes some guys. So I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to position myself so that I'm not going to fail to get up this hill. Now I hear other bikes coming, and trying to get my bike started. Right past me. Not much room there. Those guys are pretty daring. Oh, almost looped out right there. Now here's the second lap. I skipped ahead. Nothing happened really. And I'm coming through here again. Too much gas again, and right onto the ground. So that was probably the scariest moment I've had in the KTM so far. I don't know how the spectators felt, but I don't think she's gonna be sitting on that log anymore. She thought that was a part of my bike, but it wasn't. Finally get back going again. A little shaken up. My handlebars feel a little bit tweaked, so I wanted to fix that, and then my bark buster moved a little bit. So right now I'm kind of shaken up a little bit, and I know I'm gonna make more mistakes because I'm like frazzled. Right there is kind of an indicator that that I wasn't hurt at all, and I didn't even feel anything, but my focus wasn't there. So I pulled over for a minute to take a break because I figured it'd be easier to take a break than to fall a bunch more times and get all frustrated. So I think this was a good decision. Fixing my bark buster right there because my clutch lever was sticking to it. And here we come through this little mud hole we came through earlier, and that guy gets stuck, and he is stuck there for the next, I think, 3 laps. But he's just digging himself a hole, and he's putting all his weight on his front tire and showering me. And I had to, of course, stop because he was in the way, and you can't really turn, or else you'll just understeer and fall in the low side. So now we're getting back onto the track, and this time there's actually some riders with me, so I feel like I'm doing alright. Past that guy, and then he comes flying through. Me and him just kept going. I was trying to chase him, but there was really no use. I didn't even know there was a line here until this guy did that. Definitely am not pushing the bike to its full potential. Not even really rolling out the gears all the way. I'm just practicing. I think I was gonna let that guy pass me. Maybe not. Here's another fun hill. It's just a straight hill with some bumps in it. There's a kid sitting right there. Kind of worried me a little bit, but looks like we're coming back through here with the first half of the track. And that kid on the 85 105 big bore, he's fast. I think he's like 12 years old. He's fast. And so we're just coming through here. I'm kind of pushing myself to keep up with them, or at least trying, and that didn't really work. So now we come through here again. This guy is still stuck here. I didn't even see his bike was there because it was so covered in mud. So I once again I have to stop because of it. And he asks me to tell somebody if that he's stuck to come back and help. So I said I would, and I did. But so that cost me a little bit of time right there, stopping, and I think yeah, right through here we're coming through again. Basically nothing's happened other than just like slow-paced riding. So these are a little bit tight. The track's not really that rutted up. It could be worse. That guy passed me, and then we're gonna come around again. And this is now the I think the final lap, and he's still there. He's got another guy who looks like he'd be helping him. Yeah, so that guy was there for probably like 30 minutes. But now we're on the motocross track, and you can see a wipeout right here. Yeah, that kid probably just hit the gas pretty hard. And this guy, he's just tired or something. He falls over. And it was about a 30-mile race, 5 laps. At least that's what I did. I got 10 out of 15, so I'm pretty happy with that. And recently coming through the finish line. And if you guys like this video, I can do more commentaries like it. And I'm going to be racing next year. So stay tuned for that, and thanks for watching.